Right next to me is the 2025 Honda Odyssey Touring. Now, this vehicle was one of the best minivans sold in 2024, but this is the 25 version. Does it live up to the 24? Is it worse than the 24? Well, in this video, I'll be taking you through the ins, the outs, the back, showing you all about this vehicle, and let's see, is it worth it? Because this is $48,000. And base this vehicle is $46,000, but with a $500 paint, this Sonic Gray color, and after dealer fees, it comes out to be $48,000. Huge thank you to Liberty Honda of Hartford, Connecticut for allowing me to use this vehicle for the day. Their information will be linked down in the description below. Let's dive right into it and start off with the front. And immediately you can see this is not no typical minivan front. It's angry, it's aggressive, it really stands out. It's actually super low to the ground. I had to put you guys down on the tripod and I'm actually kneeling. There's probably about maybe 6 inches of ground clearance up here. So it's very low to the ground, but it's actually all functional up here. So you have functional airflow up here. You put my hand in the grill there, functional airflow there, and then even functional airflow down here. So this is all airflow to improve airflow to the engine. Honda badge right front and center. Everyone knows exactly what you're driving. This vehicle has LED headlights, LED daytime running lights in this piece up here, but it does have halogen turn signals. These little 2 dots down here, those are the halogen turn signals, and they're actually really far down compared to the headlights. But on the plus side, you do have LED fog lights. So that thing right there is actually an LED fog light. And then all the way in the bottom here, there's these little dots. What are those? Well, those are your front parking sensors. So if I come up to you guys on the tripod or an animal, a person or a car, it's gonna beep at me saying, hey, no, don't hit it because it doesn't want you to hurt anyone. And what do you feel about this front? I kind of like it. It's all body color here. It's only plastic where it needs to be plastic. It's not kind of a whole plastic grille. They make it more body color. It's very sleek and aggressive. Under the hood, Honda got a little confused making this vehicle because this is a truck engine. This is not a minivan engine. This is the same engine out of the Honda Ridgeline. So this is the same 3.5 liter naturally aspirated V6 engine out of a truck. So they just put a truck engine in this minivan. This produces 280 horsepower and 262 foot-pounds of torque. Now it's all going through a 10-speed automatic transmission, and all that power is going to both front wheels. Because this is only front-wheel drive, the Honda Odyssey does not offer in all-wheel drive, so it's just front-wheel drive. And this engine gives this vehicle a pretty healthy 22 miles to the gallon on average. The key fob of the vehicle is nothing special, black plastic, Honda logo there, but on this side, this vehicle has a ton of features. So you have lock, unlock, the typical type of stuff, but then hold this and the trunk should open up, and there it goes. Then if you want the trunk to shut, just hold it again and the trunk automatically shuts. This vehicle does have remote start, so just double tap the lock, hold that kind of circle button, and the vehicle should remote start, and there it goes. And now what's really cool is these buttons in the middle. I was confused on what those were at first, but you hold that. I think this is the layout of the car. Hold this, and this door should come open. Yes, it is. So this is the layout, and then hit this one, and the other door opens up as well. But what's really cool is the key fob also shuts these doors. So you just want to hold it, and then the door automatically shuts. This Odyssey I have right now does not have any roof rails, but has a sunroof. Now you can get option with roof rails. I think it's a $1,000 upgrade with roof rails, a trailer hitch, and some other features, so you can get that if you want. These mirrors have blind spot monitoring built into them. This little thing right here will light up if a car comes to the side. And the mirrors have turn signals built into them as well. So I'll pan to and show you right there, those will light up. These are 19-inch alloy rims with all-season weather tires. Also, with your keys in your pocket, just go up here, hit this little button, and the vehicle will lock. Now, if you want to unlock it, just go grab your hand, and the vehicle unlocks. This vehicle has 3 rows, and how do you get into the 3rd row? Well, it's as simple as just hitting this button right here, pulling this lever, then pushing it forward. Now, I'm 5'8", I'm not the tallest, so I'm gonna get in the rear here. A lot of other reviewers are tall people. I'm short, just like a small kind of child. So the legroom is actually not too bad in the rear here. I got enough legroom, headroom, let's see. Actually a pretty good amount of headroom, like 3-4 more inches. So I think a 6-foot tall person can probably fit in here, not that comfortably, but probably could. 2 USB Type-C ports, 2 cup holders, an AC vent, a sunshade on both sides. Actually, this side also has USB-C, AC vents, cup holders. The 3rd row is not losing out on any amenities. And even more they're not losing out on is these seats. These are the same leather trimmed seats as the 2nd and 1st row. So it's the same kind of seat material as the 1st row. So you're kind of sitting in luxury in this back seat. And these headrests here also come up. Even the middle seat headrest comes up. And that's not it. You can actually recline these back. So they go pretty far back. So if I want to, I just completely lay down and sleep in here. But how do we get out of the third row? Well, it's as simple as pulling this lever on this seat and or on that seat if I want to get out that way. Now watch out if the kid in the third row is trying to mess with the kid in the second row, because this seat does go forward. There's really no lock on if there's someone in that seat. So your third row kid might turn your second row kid into a pancake. So watch out with that. And then just push this forward, that slides. You actually have a little grab handle. So you do that and hop out. Let's now see how the second row is. And I gotta be honest, it's really not that much more room than the third row. You got, again, a good amount of leg room here. But what, I was like up here in the third row, so maybe like 3-4 more inches of leg room. Let's see, headroom, again, maybe more of 1 more inch. Nothing absolutely crazy. The third row is really not that bad in this car, which is shocking. You have 2 cup holders back here, 2 USB Type-C ports, and then how is this middle seat? Well, let's see. So if I'm sitting here, I got actually a ton of legroom. There's no hump here. Actually, what's down there is all, actually, why not do it now? This is where the spare tire is. If I can even get it open, that's the spare tire there. So there's no spare in the rear. It's hidden under here. So it's actually kind of unique and cool. But the legroom in the middle seat's actually really good. Headroom, simple. It's really nice. You have pockets on the back of the front seats. Now with that closed, you see here, this is all hard touch plastic. The door is completely hard touch. There's no kind of cool pieces here. There's a tiny, tiny armrest where the window control is because you have these armrests. So this car has kind of like, what do I call these? I guess more airplane style armrests that you go down on it, and it's actually kind of nice. The middle seat can steal the armrests, which if I was here, I would just be like, nope, this is mine, and that's mine as well. But they do have sunshades in this, same like the third row. And then that's a little button to open up the door if you want, AC vents, and cup holders, snacks, more spot for snacks down there, speaker grill. The second row can control its own climate controls. Up here, you can just do hot, colder, fan speed, different modes, and that actually affects these vents and the third row vents. So you can control your own AC in the rear seats. Might as well talk about this because I'm already here, but this car comes with a built-in screen. Now you could watch movies, play video games. Yes, you could plug in a Nintendo Switch and Xbox and play video games while on the road. How do you do that? Well, I actually can test it right now. So I have a HDMI to USB Type-C so I can connect it to my phone. So you can connect it to phones, devices, Fire Sticks even. I've heard someone that does it with a Fire Stick. So you plug that in there. And then let's actually test this right now. Hopefully nothing kind of crazy comes up on my phone. Now that my phone's plugged in, I can control everything from my phone on this screen. So watch movies, Netflix, YouTube, whatever I want, play video games up here if I even want to. And I can control it with the touchpad on my phone. I have an Android phone. I'm pretty sure iPhones do this as well. But again, plug in a Nintendo Switch. So a bunch of kids in the back can be playing Mario Kart all together while you're driving on the road. This is also actually a newly updated screen. On the older ones, it was smaller, less colorful. It was like an old kind of, remember the portable DVD players that I know my generation, I'm young, we used to be in car rides and stuff? That was the old one of this, but this is full, massive, colorful, and actually nice. The cool things just don't end with the Honda Odyssey, because let's say you don't have a middle seat passenger. Well, just pull this lever. I don't know if I can do this one hand. That comes down, and you have 3 cup holders, a spot for snacks. So you have kind of captain's chairs. But what if you actually want captain's chairs? Well, you could take this whole entire seat out if you want to. Store it in a garage, in the back of the trunk, I guess, and you can have dual captain's chairs. Now, that really doesn't just end there, because these trunk seats are on a track that can slide back and forth. Now, it doesn't move back and forth now, but if you take that middle seat out, you could push this seat all the way over there. And now we have easy access into the third row, so you can easily climb in there. If you want to see this more in depth, I have a TikTok, which I'll leave down below, that I talked all about this and actually took that seat out. Open up the front door, I'm happy to say there's actually decently nice materials in here. Soft touch plastic up here. You got leather trimmed piece here and leather trimmed piece there. So it's not just hard plastic like it is in the rear. You have window controls. These are actually all one touch. So one touch down, one touch up, even for the rear, which is nice. Your door controls, these are 2-way memory seat settings. So if one person wants it here, the other person wants it there, they can do that. It automatically goes to their seating position. You have storage here for snacks, more snacks, drinks. This is hard touch plastic, but again, this is where you want it to get dirty. You wash it, wipe it away, perfect. Speaker right there. Both the front seats are heated bucket seats that bolster you in very nice. They're leather trimmed seats, and they both have power controls with lumbar controls, which actually shocks me. So both these seats, forward and back, tilt, and lumbar. If you don't believe me, let's see. they have the lumbar controls there. Turn on the vehicle to push to start, and you are greeted to a massive half digital, half analog gauge cluster here. This little spot is all digital, that's analog. So you actually have analog miles per hour, but then digital miles per hour if you want that as well. This can be customized and changed to a lot of different things. So use this little scroll wheel here. You have range and fuel, speed and time, audio, so hit that. You want your audio to display there. There's nothing on right now, but if I had it, that would display there. Then go back to home, phone, navigation, and this has seatbelts. Why would you ever want seatbelts? Well, what's cool is it detects other people with seatbelts. So right now, I'm not buckled. So if I go and buckle, it's gonna make a check mark and say, hey, they're buckled. Now, I don't know why there's a person in the back there. It's detecting, oh, okay, because that seat's buckled. I thought it was a ghost in the car. But let's say if you have kids in the rear that like unbuckle out of the blue, well, you can go here and see they unbuckle. So instead of like always having to look back and stuff, you can glance here and then yell at them. This steering wheel is a leather wrapped, non-heated steering wheel, but you have paddle shifters in the rear like a race car. Again, it's a naturally aspirated V6 in a minivan. This thing hauls. It's actually very nice. Over here is some of your controls like that, which I showed you with that screen, but then you have voice commands, volume controls, skip to the next song. Over here is some of your safety settings. This has lane keep assist, adaptive cruise control, and a lot of all that safety settings can be changed through this screen here. So hit this little button and you can go and, if it actually works, there. Okay, and then you can go and turn a lot of these off. So you have road departure mitigation, blind spot information system, collision mitigation braking. Let's say I want to turn off blind spot information. So blind spot there. So now if a car comes to the side of me, it's not going to alert me at all. You can go and turn off some of the safety settings. I kind of like that. So if you don't want to be beeping everything, you can just turn them off. Now this does have a backup camera with moving trajectory lines. And it's a decently clear camera, not the clearest, but not bad. And you have other different screens if you want to. And I actually almost forgot, but I want to test something out. So you hit this here, and this is where your parking sensors are. So if you're in front of something or behind something, it's going to beep and alert at you. I'm up to my tripod right now. Let's back up to the tripod and see if this actually works. It should, yes. So it beeps at you and say, hey, stop, you're kind of close to it. And now it's telling you, hey, stop. Sorry for the glare, but this touchscreen has wireless Android Auto and wireless Apple CarPlay, and it is super responsive. Honda's new set of touchscreens are absolutely amazing. And what's even better is it's not all, digital controls. You have physical controls down here. So you have home, back buttons. So let's say I want to go to all apps. Just go straight to home. Hit it. You don't have to fuss through a whole menu and try to get out. Just hit that. You have radio controls, actual physical radio controls. Skip songs. But what are these down here? Well, those are hotkeys. So if I want to quickly go to phone, boom, sends me to phone. And these can also be changed. I'm pretty sure if you hold them, yep. So now I can go and change to whatever I want. So let's say if I want Sirius XM to replace my FM radio, just boom, right there, and then go back to home, hit Sirius XM, and it sends me to it. I do also want to talk about two specific apps. There's Cabin Watch and Cabin Talk. Now let's talk about Cabin Watch. Now this is a actual live feed video. So back here by this screen, there's a little camera there. And this has a live feed of people in the rear. So if your kids are messing around and stuff and you want to view them, now this also has this thing like a lot of older cars have, but you don't have to use that. You have an actual physical camera. So you can see what kids are doing and messing around in the rear. Now, where Cabin Talk comes into play is you hit this and it amplifies your voice in the rear. So there's all the speakers in the rear and in the second row, and it amplifies your voice. So if you're up here driving, your kids are absolutely screaming in the back, but you're like, hey, we're coming into McDonald's, chill out. Then you could be like, tell them, hey, we're coming up there, and they'll hear you. It's mostly meant for if they have headphones on and they can't really hear you, this should amplify the volume. Below the touchscreen, Honda added physical AC controls. Good job, Honda, we want that. Hot, cold, AC, fan speed, perfect. It's so simple, it's like every other car. Down here is your gear shifter, but it's all buttons. So put your foot on the brake there, go to drive, sport, neutral, reverse, park. Simple, nice to use. You have your heated seat controls, auto start stop, turn that off if you don't want it, snow, and eco mode. Now, there's no gear shifter means there's so much extra space here. I got 2 water bottles, I'll move those over there, but you have 2 water bottle spots there, 2 cup holders, a massive storage pocket here, so you can put so much different things, and then secret storage here. That actually works. It's a little hidden storage there. Put a water bottle in, and no one will ever know about it. USB Type-C, USB-A, an actual household outlet port, so you can plug in a Nintendo Switch, a 12-volt cigarette outlet port. Then you have a wireless charging pad here, which my phone's charging wirelessly. That'll work with wireless Android Auto, so while you have Android Auto Apple CarPlay up, you can charge your phone wirelessly. Right here, pull this up, and you have a little more secret storage there. You could put like little items if I want there, your HDMI port, USB-A port, and then it says removable. Oh, there's even deeper storage. So this doesn't end with the amount of storage. It's crazy. And then again, like I told you in the back, there's 2 cup holders there. But this doesn't have like a armrest. This has these things like the rear does, but it works just like an armrest. I usually talk about the sunroof in the rear, but this sunroof is mainly meant for the first row here. The second row can not really see out of it whatsoever. But just hold that, the sunroof comes open, and now if you want, stick your whole body out there. The rear of the vehicle is totally different than the front. It's cut off, it's boxy, it's like a square in the back, where the front was more round, sleek. It's not bad, but it's just a box. And look at this out juts like kind of all aggressive and rough here. It's not simple like the front was. You have LED taillights, but you do have incandescent or halogen turn signals on the side here. Again, same with the front, LED headlights, but the halogen turn signals. You have your third LED brake light up there, a little like lip spoiler, which is kind of nice. It barely sticks out, but sticks out enough to make it look cool. And that flips up, makes it aggressive. Honda logo right front and center. This black bar goes all the way across the side. You have Odyssey badge, and then your touring badge all the way over there, which I'll pan to it. These little dots down here, those are your parking sensors. So just like I showed you, if I back up to you guys on the tripod, it's gonna beep at you saying, hey, stop, no, because it doesn't want me to hurt you guys. If you've seen any of my videos before, I like to fit inside the trunks. I like to get in small spaces that other reviewers don't really do because I'm short. So what's really cool about the Odyssey is there's no spare tire in the rear. It's in the middle of the car. So you have this really deep storage pocket right here. It's like low, like I'm like barely off the ground right now, and I could fit my whole entire body here. You could store a human, I guess, if you want to in the back here. I could probably fit maybe 2 of me stacked on top if I want. There's storage space here, here, and then even over here. So much extra storage pockets. There's a 12-volt cigarette outlet port there also, speaker grill. But how do I get these rear seats down if I don't have a third row passenger? Well, let's see. These are Honda's Magic seats here, and it gives you instructions how to do this. I think I'm doing this right. You pull this lever, this part goes down, and then it just like flips up. And now it's completely flat. So now you can kind of lay down in here if you want. You can put so much stuff, put a little cabinet unit in there. These seats are flat. So now it's not a big hump or a big like kind of tilt like other vehicles are. And if I want, I can push these, you know, down as well to get more storage in there, or I could take these seats all out. So you can get every single seat out in this car besides the first row. So if you want to put a Christmas tree in here, you can. And now out on the road, how does it feel while driving? Actually incredible. This vehicle is a spectacular driving vehicle, which is actually crazy to say. It's a minivan, but it's very tight and responsive. I'm not being thrown around a lot. It's super tight, stiff, low to the ground. It actually handles extremely well. Again, 280 horsepower. This thing, you kick it, let's see, I'm on a hill, so it might be a little bit hard, but you kick it and you get sent flying back. You have paddle shifters on the wheels, so you can change your own gears. It's like a sport minivan. It's actually very cool. It's not some big, you know, SUV. You're not going to be laughed at with driving this. This is actually very nice. And let's see, braking right now. Let me come to a pretty dead stop. I'm going 40 miles an hour. Whoa, okay, yeah, that does brake when you want it to. So if there's a kid that's in the middle of the road that runs by, you're able to brake and then go on with your day and not hurt the child. So this is actually an incredible vehicle. I am blown away by Honda's ability to make something that's, again, big, not feel like big. I just reviewed a Volkswagen Atlas Cross Sport, and I loved it. Nothing wrong with that vehicle whatsoever, but it just felt big. This does not feel big. Now, with saying that, it might be kind of bad because it's, again, a long vehicle. You just have to watch out that it's long. You're really not paying attention that you're driving a minivan. You really feel like you're driving a smaller vehicle. It's kind of odd, but you are. I really like this. But the real question is, what do you think about this vehicle? Do you like it or do you absolutely hate it? And do you think it's worth the $48,000? Let me know in the comments below. And please remember to like, comment, subscribe, hit the notification bell to keep updated with more content. And a huge thank you to Liberty Honda of Hartford, Connecticut for allowing me to use this vehicle for the day. Their information will be linked down in the description below.